All right, guys. Welcome back to To Homesteading. My name is Ray.
Hi guys, my name is Dora. It is December 1st, 2025, Monday afternoon, and hope everyone had a lot of turkey. If not, well, Christmas is around the corner.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't
Make
have.
another one.
Yeah, make another one. We didn't have that much turkey. We did, but someone burnt the turkey. Yep. We had a smoked turkey, and then we had a deep fried turkey. And the deep fried turkey, well, we didn't get to have it because it was burnt. So
It was overcooked.
oh, it was burnt. So nobody got to eat that one. So guys, thanks for being here. And as you see the title, update on prayer request. If you can do me a favor and if you can share this video, you're going to want to share this video. Give us a thumbs up. And the reason I'm telling you you're going to want to share this video because you're going to hear some things that maybe you are hearing it now, because I'm seeing a lot of testimonies of what's going on in the hospitals, of what's going on with doctors and so on. We've been trying to tell people for the longest time to wake up. It says everything that we've been taught throughout the years hasn't been taught correctly, or has been pretty much lies.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just lies.
It's just lies. And I forgot, I was so busy here doing other things that I forgot to tell Joe to put something on here for us. But I'll go ahead and tell you, this is not medical advice. I just want to be very clear. This is not medical advice. We're not doctors.
That's right.
We're not giving you medical advice. We're not telling you what to do. And the reason why we have to say those things is because immediately people want to file lawsuits. I mean, it's just so quick. So I just want, and you'll probably hear me say it again, if we don't have a post on here just to say that we are not giving medical advice, and for it to just play over and over. But I'm going to go ahead and keep telling you, this is not medical advice.
That's right.
We are not doctors, nurses, nothing like that. We don't work for the medical field. What we are, we are not giving, just right there. And we'll leave that there throughout the whole time that we're doing the program, if we can. So I want people to understand that, because of the things that we're about to say, the recommendations it's not really recommendations. Let me take that back. I'm going to be very cautious on the wording I say, just because I know once this video goes out and certain things that we say, it's going to be scrutinized. There's going to be some people that are watching on YouTube, on social media, trying to see if there's something that we said that was wrong or that they can attack. Now, if you are awake and you're seeing things that way things are going around right now, you've seen people come up with some cancers that they never had. You're coming up with diseases that people never had. You're coming up with heart issues that the young never had. That has never even come across that they would have something like that. So a few weeks back in October, we asked for prayer for my mother, because she was admitted to the hospital. In fact, she woke up one day and she couldn't move. It was so painful for her to move. She couldn't stand up. She couldn't do anything but lay there. She contacted my brother, and my brother showed up. He tried to move her, tried to pick her up, but it was so painful that he couldn't move her. Yeah. You can intervene at any time. Because I might have some dates wrong also. Even the time frame as we're doing it. So what he did, he ended up calling 911 and getting the ambulance out there to pick her up. So even when they picked her up to put her on that bed to put her in the ambulance, she was screaming in pain. She took the jab. She took it.
Mhm.
Just like a lot of people took it. I didn't know she took it until after. I didn't even know that she was going to take it until afterwards. And what do I tell you that? As I said before, people were healthy until they took that. In fact, if you looked at it, you can look up the FDA, the CDC. You can look those up, and now they've changed. Go up there and look at it for yourself. They've changed and are telling you that that jab is affecting a lot of people and have actually, some people have died off of it.
Mhm.
Go and check it now. Go do your own research. And we were warning people not to take it. Well, my mother ended up taking it. So she ended up going to the hospital, and he ended up calling me that day, which was October
14.
14th. So keep that in mind. October 14th, she went to the hospital. So he calls me, and of course I leave work, and then we leave and we head out of town. It's basically about 2 hour drive. So we're heading over there within 2 hours. We get there, and I ended up talking to her while she's still laying there, and she's in the hospital now, basically in the waiting room, in the waiting area,
In the emergency room.
emergency room. And she's still in pain. She can't move because any movement she does, she's in pain. So they did x-rays, they did an MRI, they did a CT scan, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. Yeah, just go figure. So then they finally move her into a room. I'm gonna kind of cut a lot of stuff off and not make it so long.
Right.
But,
I was gonna say, because it was hours. It was hours from her going. Because this was like in the morning time, and it was pretty much all day waiting in the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
When finally she gets a room, and this was closer to maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, she went early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So then she's in there and finally in the room. So they're doing all the blood work. They're doing all kinds of things. They started her on antibiotics, and still can't figure out what's going on.
Right.
And we're like, I mean, you're giving her antibiotics, but you can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah, you don't know what it is that's causing this pain.
Mm-hmm.
You've done all these obvious tests, but yet you're going to give her antibiotics for what?
Mm-hmm. So they request more x-rays, request another CT scan, another MRI. We're like, you just had one. I mean, what else do you need to do?
Mm-hmm.
So then they have given her 3 different antibiotics. Just keep that in mind also. 3 different antibiotics. Giving her pain medicine. She still can't move. Finally, a doctor shows up, and he looks very concerned. And compared to the other doctors that were around, he looked more like he was actually wanting to help. There's other doctors that are just either they're just old-fashioned, maybe their manners are awful, or they're in it for the money, or they're just tired, or they've been doing it for so long, it's just a routine thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it was with the other doctors. Again, this is my opinion. So then this doctor shows up, and he looks very concerned, and he says, yeah, she's got in the bloodstream bacteria. She has bacteria in the bloodstream. So think about that. Bacteria in the bloodstream. We know how dangerous that is. That's a killer. Anybody that has bacteria in the bloodstream, because we know how vital the bloodstream is. So that's what he brings up. He says, well, she's got bacteria in the bloodstream. And this is what's going on. And we need to find the source of where it's coming from.
And how it got there.
And how it got
Right.
there and so on. Yes. That's coming from him. I'm not going to mention any names. So what do? They contact the CDC. Now, if anybody's been around for quite some time, your opinion about the CDC may be different than my opinion from the CDC. My opinion from the CDC, I trust them as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw them very far. Yeah.
Right.
You might as well tell me that the CDC is here to help you. No, I'll take my chances. So I'm going to stop it right there. And I'm going to show you this video before we continue with this so you can see what we're talking about. And I want to show you this video, and I want you to hear from a nurse that was actually fired. And the sad part is the amount of comments on there is how ignorant some people are, because now they're saying, oh, now you're the part of the problem because now you're telling on how the hospitals are when you should have been doing it while you were employed with them. So now, yeah, it's just the ignorance of them. But I want you to listen to what she tells you.
I think the hospital that I worked for that suspended me, I think they thought that they were really going to hurt me. Maybe they thought that I was going to come begging for my job back because the economy is bad, the job market's bad. I don't know what they thought, but let me make my position clear. I am not backing down. I am not going anywhere, and my voice will be heard. I know that people are falsifying medical records. I know that people are forging signatures. I know that you guys are falsifying medical records to keep patients longer than they need to be there so that you can continue to bill insurance. I know what's going on. I only scratched the surface of what's really going on there. I know that emails have been sent to therapists telling them to pad their documentation, telling them to make it look like patients need to stay longer, or when private insurance companies aren't going to pay anymore, making it look like the kid is ready to discharge when they're not and they're still very much suicidal. I know way more than you think I know. And the sad thing is that since I got suspended, people have been calling me left and right. People that I never thought would call me, people on the leadership team have been calling me and telling me about the things that they're seeing because they're like, don't back down from this fight. And I'm not. My voice will be heard. What you guys are doing is so wrong. And I don't care what you say. They're trying to say that they suspended me and then I got on TikTok and started making videos. No, my concerns were voiced long before I said anything on TikTok. My concerns were voiced to leadership. My concerns were voiced to the Joint Commission. My concerns were voiced to the public health inspector. My concerns were voiced to the Office of the Inspector General. Baby, I went way further than you, way past you. You guys suspended me because you knew I was onto something. It has nothing to do with my work ethic. It has nothing to do with my character. And it has nothing to do with a hostile work environment, because you haven't even questioned the people that work in that hostile work environment with me. So therefore, I know you're not doing a thorough and accurate investigation. You're probably just falsifying more things to give you some sort of paper trail to fire me. Just fire me, because I'm not going to shut up about it. My position is clear. My integrity is important to me. My character is important to me. And I'm always going to do the right thing. And if that means taking on an entire hospital, an entire corporation, that's what I'm going to do.
So I just want to share that one with you. So let's go back to it. So keep in mind, they were giving my mother 3 different antibiotics for 3 days. And she wasn't getting better. In fact, she was getting worse. So what did we do? Since we knew it was bacteria in the bloodstream, we decided to go to Tractor Supply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Went to Tractor Supply. Again, we are not doctors. We're not giving medical advice. We went Tractor Supply. We went and got ivermectin, and we went and gotten fenbizole.
Mhm.
So we got those two. Came back, went to the hospital, talked to my mother, and I explained to her, okay, here you go. This is what we should do, because apparently they're giving you 3 different types of antibiotics and none of them are working. So we gave her ivermectin. Yep. We did it by the weight. Of course, I know people say, well, that's horse paste and so on. But you have to ask this simple question. Why are they so difficult and so against treating patients with ivermectin or fenbizole? Why? Why is the pharmaceuticals so against selling this product over the counter? You have to ask that simple question. It's these questions that we have to ask. So we gave it to her. Guess what? The next day they tested her again and they said, we found the antibiotics that's actually working because now we see results. Think about it. The next day, it wasn't what they were doing. They didn't know we were giving her that. And she wanted that. So we gave it to her. Okay, here you go. Yeah, immediately. Different results. So what did they say? We got to do surgery because this plate in her back has all the bacteria, has the bacteria in it. And we have to clean that out. There's 2 areas that's full of pus that we have to get that pus out. Okay. By my better judgment, but again, I can't tell her what to do, so she went ahead with it. Got the surgery. Got it done. CDC was in and out. She didn't want to answer any questions. She was in a hurry just to go in there, talk to her. Okay, this is what we're recommending. And she walked out. It was within seconds. It wasn't even minutes that she was in there. She wasn't even there maybe a minute tops. I'm not exaggerating. It was a minute tops. She walked in there, talked to her. Okay, how you feeling? Okay, you're in pain? Yes. Okay. This is our antibiotics we're doing. All right. Peace out. I'm on my way out. It's like she was running. Didn't want to answer questions. She was in a hurry. Yeah. Think about it. And continued that route. We were in there since October 14. And they continued to give her antibiotics as they wanted to give her antibiotics. If you do your research and you talk to good doctors, you're going to see doctors that are against antibiotics for a 7 to 14. In fact, you can do your research and they say 7 to 14 is the max that they should be on antibiotics.
Days.
7 to 14 days. Yes. 7 to 14 days is the max. And even then, they don't even want to go that far. So what did they want to recommend? They wanted to recommend that she will be on antibiotics for over 9 weeks. Think about that. What is that going to do to your body? Here's another kicker. The antibiotics that they gave her, the doctor didn't even sit down and explain to her the 77 side effects.
Right.
77 side effects for the antibiotics that they were giving her. One of them was paralysis.
And guess what? She was having issues with her legs. Yeah.
She didn't have any energy. She was just laying there. She was dizzy. She was having all this. She was having some of those symptoms of the 77 side effects. And I explained to her, I said, Mom, I looked this up, the antibiotics that they're giving you, and here's the 77 side effects. And they didn't even sit down and talk to you and show you. Here's the 77 side effects. it's possible that you're going to have some of the major ones also. Here's the major ones, here's the minor ones. They didn't even sit down and explain that to her. So what did they do? They continue with the antibiotics, and they continue pushing it 2 times a day or 3 times a day. 3 times a day. Think about it. If you're looking at her, you're looking at her as if she was just laying there, not realizing that she was in the hospital. There was times that she didn't know what she was doing. There was times that she didn't even know she was, if we're having a conversation. There was times that she would even butt in the conversation, not knowing that there was a different conversation.
Right.
We're like, that's not what we're talking about. Yeah. Another one was confusion. One of the side effects on there was confusion. She had a lot of confusion on there.
And shortness of breath.
Shortness of breath.
To where she has never been on oxygen, and that was the main question all the time. You know, the nurses would come in, or you know, various people. I mean, everybody comes in when you're at the hospital. You know, well, have you been on? Do you have oxygen at home? We're like, no. She's like, no. She goes, I've never been on oxygen. Well, she had to be on oxygen in the hospital because she was having trouble breathing
while she was on that antibiotics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she had to be on oxygen while she was on that antibiotics. Loss of appetite. I mean, I'm telling you, there's 77 side effects. So we continue. I said, you know what? This is what we need to do. This is. I talked to my mother. I said, okay, this is what me and my brother did. So we continued to give her ivermectin. They continued to do blood work. They continued to push that she needed that antibiotics, and she needed to be in a walker to try to get to walking again, which she never has been in a walker. She always walked on her own. She always had mobility to move around on her own.
Yes.
So they ended up moving her to a nursing home / physical therapy area for the elderly. So that's where they moved her. While she was there, 2 weeks, right? Again, antibiotics, and they kept pushing it. Well, she was only supposed to be there for a week. So what did they do? The CDC and the doctor contact her insurance without her knowing and extend her stay at that facility without even talking to her and having a communication with her and saying, would you like an extended stay? Would you like more physical therapy? Would you like more this and this and that? Nope. They did all that without her knowing. And then she gets a phone call from her insurance telling her, yes, the doctors have contacted me and said that you are extended for another week. And she's like, I never asked them to, and they never talked to me about it. She goes, oh, well, they approved it. They said that you needed more more treatment and so on. So we show up and we talk to her. And again, she's in that antibiotics, and it is wearing her down. You can tell that she's still on oxygen. She's still having difficult breathing. When she gets up and just goes to the bathroom, lack of oxygen. That's how fast it was happening. She finally told them, because they wanted to continue to give it to her. I'm telling you, all the way till December 17, I believe. Yes, December 17.
That was the estimated time. The extended time was that she was going to have these antibiotics 3 times a day until December 17th. and this was already at the rehab center, and it was the first weeks of November when she went into that center.
So she finally told them, no, I don't want it. I don't want it anymore, because as they were going to release her also, they wanted to teach us for us to give her the antibiotics.
Right.
So of course she told them she didn't want it. So what do you think happens? What do you think happens when you tell medical staff that you don't want this that costs money, that is given 3 times a day? How do you think their reaction is going to be? It wasn't good. So, of course, CDC contacts her and tells her that they're a little upset because she needs to continue taking this antibiotics because I don't know how long or how much more she will need to continue to take this to make sure this bacteria doesn't come back. Yeah. So in other words, they didn't even, they said, yeah, maybe until 17. But before then, let me back up because they said, well, we just need to do it for this time period. Well, that time period was extended again for the antibiotics. And then that time period was extended again till December 17. So if we continue to do that, they probably would extend it again. So my mom said, no, I don't want it. So then she ends up calling her while she's at home and tells her, listen up, I'm calling again for you to take this antibiotics. We want to give you this antibiotics. So what you're telling me, this is my mother telling me, this is the CDC lady talking to her on the phone, and the CDC lady is telling her, okay, so what you're telling me is that you want to show up to the hospital and us administer this antibiotics, and then you go back home. And then you can come back again and we administer. Is that what you, every day? Is that what you're telling me? She goes, no, I didn't tell you that. I told you I didn't want it anymore. Yeah. They're trying to still push her to continue with this antibiotics. No, she's taking ivermectin and benzosol right now instead of that. If the results that they saw the very next day when she received ivermectin and benzosol, immediately the next day, they immediately saw results from the blood work. It wasn't the antibiotics, it was that ivermectin. Why? How do I know that? Because it was 3 days and they were not seeing any results. But the second she received ivermectin, the following day, they saw results.
Yeah.
Why not give her that stuff? Why not help patients? There's no money in it.
That's right.
You can't make money off of healthy people, off of a healed person.
That's right.
You only make money off of sick people. I'm telling you, people, we have to wake up. You're going to have to look at your family members. You might have some elderly parents right now. You may even be involved, either your spouse or a child. You're going to have to do a lot of research and stop saying yes to everything. And start asking more questions. Oh, we praise the Lord for the healing as well, because God is the one if you're in prayer and you're listening to the Holy Spirit will guide you.
Oh, yes, definitely.
The Holy Spirit say, wait a minute, back up. Ask this question. Wait a minute. Don't say yes to everything. Be careful what's going in your body. Be careful of all the medications and whatnot. I mean, why would it make any sense to take something in your body that has 77 side effects? To me, absolutely makes no sense.
Yeah.
But again, they didn't read her. They didn't show her the 77 side effects. If somebody said, okay, I want to give you this medicine, we don't know for sure if it's going to work. But here are 77 side effects that have been, apparently somebody had one of the side effects, so they had to mark it down. Another person had another side effects, or maybe one person had 20 of them.
Yeah.
So they had to mark them down. So for sure, you know that there's 77 side effects that you can possibly get off of this. Compared to, is it going to work? You can go look at ivermectin. You know what the side effect for ivermectin is? You can go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And
if you call that a side effect, but there's a reason.
There's a reason for that. It's because it's cleansing you. It's getting rid of, any type of parasite, any type of bacteria, anything. I mean, that is the fastest and quickest way to flush it out of your system. That is the effect that it has.
Because I tell you what, I wasn't in my right mind during that time. there was a lot of things going through my head, and I was like, okay, we got to take care of this. We got to do this. We got to do that. I was praying. I was asking for prayer. We got together and we asked for prayer. I contacted my niece and we were talking, and yes, God always is involved, and God is always first when we're talking. And we said we need to get in prayer. We need to ask the Lord to help. And immediately she goes, "Have you thought about ivermectin?" I said, "You know what? I've always thought about that, and I always try to tell people about it. It just didn't cross my mind. I forgot about it. Let me get to it. I'm on it. Sure enough. You don't think that was the Lord? Hey, remember? There's medications out there. There's stuff." And you might say, "Well, ain't that something they created? Do you know there's a plant that is ivermectin? It's a plant. And you drink it like tea. It says it's bitter." So we have to pay attention, because you see all this is coming out in the medical field. There, in fact, there's a doctor. I forgot. Was there? Did I send a post about a doctor? I think I sent a post about a doctor. A doctor discussing this. Yes, if you can get me, let me play. If you give me that doctor. Yes. Yeah, if you can give me that doctor, I want you to see this is a doctor discussing this as well. And they're silencing the medical staff that are bold to talk about this. Why? Because there's no money, again, in a person that's healed, a healthy person. Ask yourself this question, this simple question. If prescription drugs worked, why do you have to do refills?
Why is there refills? And why is it that you have to take it for the rest of your life? Or, however long,
why do you have to have 10 that you take in a day? Because one is going against the other one because of the side effect and so on. Why? People really have to ask that simple question. Why am I going to take this the rest of my life? Isn't there a solution for this? So let me show you what this doctor.
A pharmacist rejects my prescriptions for ivermectin, and I still have the Texas Medical Board pursuing me because I tried to help a dying man obtain ivermectin. This is America. People should not be terrified to go to the hospital. Patients should not have to buy their medication at the feed store. And doctors should not be attacked, smeared, and pursued by the state medical boards for fighting for their patients. COVID directly impacted every single American, and when bad things happen, it's natural to want to move on. But the carnage from the pandemic has left a festering wound on our country, and wounds of this magnitude do not heal on their own. In order to heal, we must pull the shots off the market, help the injured, and hold people accountable.
There are good doctors, good nurses out there that are speaking up and telling the people, listen up. Because we need to stop taking everything that they want to give you. Again, if prescription drugs worked, why are they refills, and why do you have to take them the rest of your life? Is it possible that detoxing is what really helps because it cleans and gets rid of parasites, bacteria, gets rid of stuff? You might want to start looking into that, of detoxing. And I've mentioned that to some people, and some people say, what does that mean? Yeah, because we haven't been taught that. We haven't been taught that. We've been taught pop a pill for the rest of your life. And that's one thing my mom said, I don't want to be stuck on medication for the rest of my life. And it should be like that with everyone.
Right.
So right now, my mom is at home. She's doing better. She is still on a walker, but she is doing a lot better being off of that antibiotics, especially 3 times a day. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
For 9 weeks, that they wanted 9 weeks of that. Think about that. And no telling if they would have stopped there.
They probably wouldn't have. They probably would have, said something else to her.
As the pattern was going, probably not. But again, you're going to have to do some research and see what natural remedies, what natural medicine is out there. Because God has created these plants for natural medicine. God has created a cleansing method for us to get clean. Look at all the trash that's out there that is inside the food.
Yes.
Just look at the skies. Look at them spraying the skies.
Mhm.
And I know some people still don't believe that, even though after they admitted it and said, yeah, we're spraying you down, people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give you an update. Yes, she's doing good. We thank you for the prayers.
Yes.
But thank God that God created a plant that's ivermectin. There's a plant out there. And I won't be surprised if they go after that plant.
Yeah, after the seed. So if you're listening and you have that plant and you're, take care of it, grow it some more, because they're going to want to shut it down.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and this was horse paste. Yes, that's where we went to Tractor Supply and we picked it up. Mm-hmm. And I hear in other states you can't do that. And I hear for sure in Canada you can't pick it up either. So just think about that. Why are they after something like that? In fact, I read a comment. Somebody said in our state, they ask you, why are you picking up ivermectin from Tractor Supply, and they want to document it of who's picking it up. Mm-hmm. In fact, in another state, they said that they can't even purchase it at Tractor Supply, that it's in a locked container. Think about it. Why are they doing all this?
Why are they taking that extra measure to see who's taking it? Why are you buying it? It's just like you having to put down that you're buying chicks from Tractor Supply. When you go pick up your chicks and you want the chickens, they're keeping a tally on that. How many people?
They ask for an address?
Yeah, they ask for an address. Yeah.
Why? So you can have an address of every person that has chickens.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there was a gentleman that said when he went to go pick up ivermectin, that they asked him what animal he had, and they wanted the name of the animal and so on. Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
We have to pay attention. The 77 side effects for the antibiotics. That's crazy.
That was just one.
That was just one.
Right, one of the antibiotics.
One of the antibiotics when she was getting 3. Think about it. So guys, we just want to give you an update. We thank you for your prayers.
Yes.
We thank you for, because we always need prayer. We thank you for that. We just want to give you an update how she's doing. And
and let us know, on your comments, if you've had, something like this happen in your family, or if, you're looking, to get some more information. It's out there. You just have to search it. You have to do your research. And again, we're not doctors, just like we put on there. This is just what our family had gone through, a month and a half ago. And we give God the glory that, we listened, to what the Holy Spirit was telling us, and we talked to her, and she, ultimately everyone made their decision. We let her decide, hey, this is information, this is what's coming. And the thing is that when a person sees results, that's what gets, that's what gets done. It's seeing the results of how that person's health changes from one day to another.
Mm-hmm. They did it out there, and they did an exposure of what cancer is, and they said it was a parasite.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming from scientists and doctors. They're saying cancer is a parasite. That's them saying it, and that's not us.
That's right.
So if it's a parasite, then what? Detox.
Mm-hmm.
Ivermectin cleans it out. Benzodiazole cleans it out. In fact, there's a doctor that is giving both of those to his patients, his cancer patients, and he is getting good results.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So, guys, we thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Again, share this video.
Mm-hmm.
It would help someone else.
Yes, definitely. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you on the next video.